What up, what up? It's your boy Frank the Tank, aka Mr. Trying to get that money in the bank. So far, still doing what I gotta do. This is actually day one of the new video that I'm doing, which means I've been lacking because I got like 4 videos that I gotta post up. So I'm gonna do that later on today. But for those of you who don't know, I recently purchased, and by recently I mean yesterday, purchased a 2008 Ford Expedition. It has issues. That's the family. It's gonna be the family truck. It's got some bad wiring or something going on with it. So I decided today, because I want to get that truck up and running. It's a nice truck. I decided today to come to Pick and Pull and get some parts for it. So I'm currently here working on a 2008 Ford Expedition. This is the exact same one I have. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be taking off the wiring harness from the spark plugs and from the fuel injectors, because the one that's in my car, it looks like they spliced the wires really bad, and I don't know if they even did it right. So just to cover my bases, dot my T's, cross my I's, I'm going to actually cut out what I need from here, and then I'm going to take it home and I'm going to rebuild the one I have at home to where it's working the way it's supposed to and everything's good. So there's already been somebody in here cutting things off. That wasn't me, but at least I know that over this way the wires are
charging commencement acknowledged.
So the coil packs and the injectors, are the injector connectors, and these cars are notorious for breaking. These are all good. They all still have their clips, so I'm good with that. I'm going to finish getting this guy off. I already got it off from the front part right here on this side. I got the fuel rail up and off. I got to take off this intake, get that connection over, and once all that's free and clear, I'll be able to remove this and get to the wiring that I need to get to. So stand by. Oh, and the other thing is it has automatic fold down side skirts, and this one, although it's gray, this one's here and mine doesn't have it on the passenger side. The driver's side does, the passenger side doesn't. The driver's side on this one's bad, passenger side on this one's good. So splice and dice time. So stand by, let me do what I got to do, and I will be right back. All right, a pull fight. So as you can see, I'm in the truck. We got the truck going up to the front. I got the motorized passenger side step and the wiring harness for the Expedition. So I'm gonna go pay for that stuff, and then I'm gonna go home and install it and do all the wiring that I need to do, so that way I can make sure that truck runs right. And I guess I'll see you when I get there. All right, pull fights. We're back at it, day 2. Obviously you can see some stuff's been done. So when I got the truck, this shield cover that goes here wasn't on here, and neither was the fan shroud. So yesterday I did that. I should have done the video of it, but I kind of got into, trying to knock things out and get stuff done and start tearing down this intake, because I need to remove this intake so I can get to the wiring harness that's all right here. And see, this is what I was talking about. So when the guy sold it to me, he said that somebody had already tried to repair it, and this is for the injector, this top, but this is the work that they did for the coil pack. So yeah, that's all bad, and it's on all of them. There's some of them that don't even have protective coating on them. They're just there. So the wiring harness that I got, don't worry, that's to be coming. The wiring harness I got from the junkyard has all the connectors except for, where is it? I saw it yesterday where I was looking at it, and one of the wires got cut off for the injector. Is that it? Yeah, so right there. That's one for the, no, this is for the coil pack, isn't it? Let's see. 1 coil pack, 1 injector, 1 injector. Yeah, so that's for the coil pack, not for the injector. That's for the injector. And then there's for the, no, that is the, okay, so that's for the coil pack, my bad. So this is one for the coil pack, so that one's in really good condition. This is the one for the injector. So I know from this wiring harness all the way around to this side is all good, except I did have to cut from down here on the passenger side, and I had to cut from right here on the driver's side. So I'd rather wire down low in the harness than up high where the highest concentration of heat is. I did get some butt connectors and stuff like that, so that way I can make sure these are going to be some solid connections and I ain't going to have to worry about it. Sorry, my allergies are kicking my butt today. I also got new spark plugs. I don't honestly know if these coil packs are good, but I'm going to rock with it. One of the things that the code reader was saying was cylinder 8 was misfiring, so I'm going to change the spark plugs in all 8 of them, but I'm going to change that coil pack from the 8 one up here to the first one, so that way I'll have easier access. Then if I have to, I'll get new ones. But to be honest with you, these look like they're brand new. Like all of them are brand new on it, like even on the passenger side, see? So none of them are actually the old style ones. They're all pretty clean. So I think those coil packs are actually new. I think what happened is they fried this for some reason, somehow, and they tried to get it to work right. They couldn't get it to work right. Rather than replace the whole harness, they tried to splice and dice to make it work. Problem with that is when there's open electrics like this can cause an arc and it'll cause the car to run really stupid. So we're gonna just ixnay this stuff and get it to where it runs right, or at least where the electrics are covered right, and hopefully we can correct the malfunction that the engine's having, putting some new coils in here. Because the guy that I bought it from, he did say that he put some spark plugs in here, but this truck these vehicles require certain spark plugs, certain types of spark plugs. And when I looked it up in the system, it says that it requires OE double platinum spark plugs. I ended up upgrading and getting the iridium ones, which are way stronger and way better. They burn better. So maybe that'll give us better issues, with less issues. It has no oil leaks. It has no water in the oil. So as far as heads, I'm not really too concerned about it. It wasn't blowing any crazy smoke. It was just really struggling to get up there and go. And like I said, I saw parts all over the place that have markings for, like, they've been done at the junkyard. So it could be one of these parts. This is the throttle body. That's a throttle position sensor. It could be one of these parts that are either misaligned or is bad, but I won't know until I fix this problem. Once the electrics on it is running right, if that's giving issues, it'll pop the code for a throttle body issue. But then I'll just do a throttle body relearn process with my my OBD scanner tool, and we can see how that rocks. Worst case scenario, I'll replace that guy. And if it's the throttle position sensor, I'll replace that guy. Not a big deal. But the other thing that I did while I was here working on it yesterday was I put the side skirt that I got on it and made sure that it was working. So it works just fine now. Takes a couple of seconds for it to go up, and voila, nice and smooth. So now that's fixed, which, if you know anything about these electronic side skirts, for one of them, a side of it, one side is like $2,000 if you're buying them brand new. I am trying to fix this on a budget because this is going to be the family car. Don't get me wrong, later on down the line when I have more money to do stuff, I'm going to get new headlights. And all these rims are good. This one's good, that one's good, the other one in the back is good. This one in the front is bad. The tire's decent. Well, I don't even know if the tire's any good anymore because I actually rode on it on the flat because I didn't realize, it didn't show me that it was flat at all. So it ended up riding here on a flat. I had to stop off and put air in it, and I drove it home the rest of the way, and it stayed with air. But somewhere on the back side of the tire, I don't know if you can see it, but somewhere on the back side of the tire, on the bead, there's a crack in the rim somewhere, and it's being held together with JB Weld. I don't know if you can actually see it or not. Let's see if I can feel it. Yeah, right here. So see that? So there's an actual crack in the rim right here where my nail is. I don't know if you can see that, but that crack is allowing air to come out. And the other thing that I noticed is bad with these is these upper control arms. These bushings are no good, and the tire actually moves. Look. So it clicks back and forth. I did find a set of these at the junkyard that are in really, really good condition. I just didn't have the tools to get the nuts off. So I need to go back to the junkyard and get those guys, and then that'll fix the clicking that this thing does. But it doesn't have any, like, I know you see the motor right there. You see how that looks wet? It's actually not leaking oil. So there's no oil on it that's causing any of that stuff anymore. I don't know. I will eventually do the valve cover gaskets anyway, just to get it taken care of and actually see the internals of the engine. But like I said, it requires very little. I need to fix this rim. I need to fix those upper control arms on both sides. And the brakes, that's the next thing that I'm coming up to. So in this vehicle, the brakes are really, really hard. Even when the car's running, it's really, really hard. That could be something as simple as the vacuum, a vacuum problem. That could be something as simple as an electric fuse if it has the hydrolock protection on it or whatever. I don't know. It could be brake booster. It could be brake master cylinder. This does have fluid in it, so I'm not too sure what it is. But again, the junkyard vehicle has one of these, but over there it's doing the same thing. So I don't know if that one's good or not. I'm gonna keep messing with that and see if I can get it to work. Because the only other thing it could be is that there's air in the line and air does not compress. So I'm gonna keep working on it, but for right now, I'm gonna put this off for right now. I'm gonna focus on this and trying to get it to run right. I had to remove the air tube, the X cradle, the whole bunch of odds and ends. Now I'm taking off the fuel rail. Yes, you're gonna have to take off the fuel rail to get, well, if you're doing what I'm doing, you have to take off the fuel rail so you can access the bolts that are underneath the fuel rail to get the intake out. I've never taken one of those off, that fuel fitting off. It's a hard plastic hose covered with a rubber hose, so I have to figure out how to do that. But like I said, I already got the majority of this stuff loose on this side, and look how much cleaner that looks with that gone. So I'm gonna zip these guys out, zip out the spark plugs, put the new spark plugs in, zip these guys back in, move over, do the exact same on this side. And once all is said and done, I'm gonna pull this intake out to get to the bolts that are in the back, because there is a 10mm bolt that holds this wiring harness to the back of the intake, and there's a hose back there. One of the wires comes down from here and goes down to the O2 sensor, and one hose wire comes down here and goes to the sensor that's directly under the intake, right there. But there's a disconnect in the back. So I'm gonna do that right now, and I'm gonna hopefully get this wiring harness done so that way we can put it back in, and then we can try and test start the vehicle. So bear with me and we'll see what happens, okay? Okay, so let me get my big butt back up here again. So I already removed the driver's side. I already removed the driver's side coil packs, and they look pretty clean. The actual pieces look pretty clean, so I'm not seeing any oil in there, and I'm not seeing any oil leaking. I am probably still going to change the valve cover gaskets when I have more money. I mean, it would make more sense for me to do it right now, but I'm kind of strapped for cash because I bought the vehicle. No biggie. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm trying to take off the intake. So there's a bolt back here, right? And then there's this dilly bob right here. But you see that hose right here? This hose was not connected, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a piece that goes underneath that hose got to go to, because this hose runs over to the vacuum of the brake, which would be why I'm not getting any brake pressure, or I'm not getting any brakes, because that hose isn't connected. So that might be the culprit as to why we're not getting any brake. Like the cylinder, I mean the booster is like max tilt. It doesn't move at all. So that might be the issue why. But the other issue is this harness right here is usually attached by a clip to the actual thing, and it's not even there anymore. So this harness is already free all the way up to here. So that's a good thing for me because I don't have to worry about messing too much with that. I just want to make sure that this harness isn't going to be in the way. There's no other bolts over here, or maybe there is one right there. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, that's a size 10, but I don't know if the harness is actually in the way. No, see, it's not even connected. So, because I can actually lift it up, but I know that there's other things still holding it down, so I got to figure out what that is, and then I got to remove it. The one at the junkyard was actually pretty easy. Look and see inside, it's all nice and clean. It's not soaking wet. So the one at the junkyard was pretty easy to get out because the alternator was out. So I think I'm going to remove the alternator just for safety and speed. I'm going to remove the alternator and the alternator bracket and get it out of the way. That way I can actually remove this, and then we can go on with dismantling the connections on this side. It's gonna be, well, this harness right here has to come undone. This is the wire that goes to the main one over here, and then this one, I believe it's this one. Yeah, that goes off of the main wiring harness. So these two connections, this one and this one, and if I'm not mistaken, this one. But you know, I'll get all that stuff in a minute. I'm just trying to get everything cleaned up so that way it's most efficient to get it out. All the bolts are like 10 mil on the intake manifold, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, because like I said, look, when you try to get the intake up, it has resistance on it. Like, you can't really do anything. So, and it's not a heavy duty, it's not heavy, it's just flex plastic. So I think that if I remove the alternator, I'll have the space I need to be able to get it out without any more issues. And I might have to take this guy off too. Maybe. Just maybe. I think the alternator is the thing that it's catching on at the bottom. So I'm going to take off the alternator real quick. It's a 10 mil bolt to remove the fire. And remember, before you take this guy off or even mess with anything electrical, disconnect the battery. That's what we did over there. The batteries is disconnected. So you guys got to pull the alternator connection off, which... there's a push tab in the front right here. It just doesn't want to come out. Like most Fords, they don't always want to work with you. But I'll get some pliers on that guy and get it out real quick. These are 10 mils, so I'll undo the belt from the tensioner down there, and then I'll zip out those 10 mils, and then the alternator should just be out of the way. They made it easy to change this alternator, so let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back. We're still at it. Let me, son of a biscuit. Okay, I forgot what I was gonna show you. I was gonna show you the spark plug, but I think I threw it over here. Hold on. I know I threw it over here somewhere. Okay, so I have never seen a truck that has spark plugs like this. This resembles a glow plug to me, because I've never seen a spark plug like that, right? Doesn't even have the, well, maybe it's an Autolite. Oh, it says Motorcraft. Yeah, so it's a Ford. It's a Ford part. Apparently for this year vehicle, they did, I don't know if you can see the Motorcraft insignia. Probably not, it's too faded. They did it like this. The part number is PZK W5 is what it looks like, and it says it's a platinum. So this is what came out of this truck. So I don't know, that's a little weird, right? But this one, for for this brand was $27 a spark plug. $27, because I got the Bosch Iridiums first that this car said uses, but because it doesn't have this thick thread and it doesn't have this little chamfer, they wouldn't go in. They would literally just like that. So we had to upgrade and get well, we didn't kind of upgrade, we kind of just shifted over, because there's no way in hell I can afford to spend $27 per spark plug per cylinder times 8. That's 30, 60, 90, 120. That's 240 on just spark plugs. So yeah, yeah. What we ended up getting was these E3 spark plugs. Now, don't get me wrong, I know these are not the best spark plugs. Apparently, there's many different people that say stuff. But these spark plugs were the more affordable option. I will probably end up getting better ones later and then changing it again, because I'm thinking about changing the dang coil packs too. So let me see where they're at. No, so 4. So yeah, the other 4 are already in. So these 4 are here. I just had to get the spark plug out, and I believe I did. But here's something that's crazy, okay? So let me try not to put this too close. Okay. And get that. And put my shoe back on. Sorry. So this is the thing that's really tripping me out, okay? So I'm going to show you on my endoscope right here. I purchased this at Amazon, so it's got like a 16-foot optic, and you can adjust it and rotate. But I know it looks a little oily and sludgy. It's fine. I'm gonna shoot some brake parts cleaner down there on all of them. See, so they're not too bad at all. But the crazy thing, you see this one, this is the last one, I can't get it out. And the reason I can't get it out is there's stuff blocking it, so the socket won't go around it. So we're gonna use the vacuum to try and suck up that stuff real quick. But I wanted to show you something. Looking at the intakes, they're pretty good. So I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of carbon, but this thing says it has 240 something thousand miles. That's not a bad look, especially if I put like some seafoam. That seafoam will clean that right up. So I'm probably going to do an engine treatment. But the other thing that's tripping me out about this thing is how much the intake gaskets, the ones that sit up here, for this set, it's just these 2 little things. For this set, it's $179. So I'm gonna start looking at Amazon, because that's some ridiculous craziness. But I already got everything else unbolted and disconnected. The only thing I got to do is back there is an O2 sensor I got to get done, and then back down there there's an O2 sensor, and then the ground that goes right here to the back I got to get undone. Then all of this other stuff is already out, so this is all ready to come out now. I am gonna cut it from over here. Hold on, let me get this out of the way, because this little wire is pissing me off. All right, so I'm gonna cut it from over here, but down low on this wire, so I can splice into it and connect it to the new wiring harness. Because this wire goes down and around to the back of the engine, and I ain't trying to play with all that stuff right now. I'm trying to just get it done so that way I can have it looking good and running right. But yeah, so I got to get the debris out of that thing somehow, and then finish undoing this, and then I can throw the new one in and start connecting stuff back, putting the coils back and stuff like that. So then I can put the intake back on and hopefully crank this guy over with no problems from here on out. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna keep working on this thing, even if I have to be out here for hours and hours. I'm gonna get this thing finished and boxed back up, done today. That way I could at least test run it. And then I could tell you whether or not it was worth it or not, and if I'm gonna have to buy an engine. So please, fingers crossed, pray, sana colita, todo, everything. Help your brother out, okay? Okay, so that last cylinder over there had plastic debris and a piece of a spring, it looked like, and a piece of metal. Looks like a bar or something. It was about this big. Stuck way down in there, and I couldn't get to the spark plug. Messing with it for about 20 minutes, I ended up finally being able to get. I blew compressed air in there, and it blew out the plastic, which was obviously good. If you're gonna do that, make sure you cover these intake runners because you don't want anything falling down in there. Once that was blown out, I had to try and fish out that other stuff. And trust me, I tried picks, pliers, tape on screwdrivers. Like the little metal spring thing was pretty easy with the magnet. The magnet just pulled it back up. The other little bar, I guess it's not a non-magnetic metal, so it wouldn't come up to the magnet at all. So there's literally like this much space between the spark plug and the wall. And I was able to use my super thin needle nose pliers right there. And I was able to get down in there, and it took me a while because I had to first get it out from being laid over. So I got it out, and then I was able to stand it pretty much vertically straight up, and then I used the pliers to get around it and just pinch it, and was able to pull it out. So now I can get to that spark plug and change that one. That would also cause what's called a misfire, because that piece of metal not letting the boot go all the way down would also cause the spark to jump over into the motor, which could definitely be the reason why we were getting a fail on cylinder number 8. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that would be number 8. But I'm going to verify that again. Usually the right bank is always going to be the evens, and the left bank is going to be the odds. Because it'd be crazy if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 over there, and there's nothing wrong with that one. I was able to change that one just fine. But that one had stuff in it. So I'm pretty sure that the one over there is the culprit, and that's cylinder number 8. But I got it out. I got to change out that spark plug right now and put the brand new spark plugs that I got in, and then I can finish doing the wiring harness. I still have to remove that stuff over there, but that was a pain in the ass. But we're gonna move on. I'm gonna continue doing what I gotta do, so stand by. Okay, so new harness is right here. I had to repair this one. This goes to the throttle body because this one was broken. And I had to repair, where's that other pinche que saben que caca? Este, okay. So this is for the injector, but this one somebody cut off. I didn't see it until right now. But the way I routed it was I came over here and I checked this injector. And if you see the line, the color, the one with the line goes to the bottom part and the solid one goes to the top part. So I followed that and I checked this one out. So this one with the line goes, son of a bitch, I did it backwards. Oh, okay. So wait, there's a reason why I did it like that, I think. No, see, there it is. That one has the one with the line. The other, this one's just solid. Well, it's not solid. It doesn't look like it. This looks like a line. Maybe, let's see. I don't know if I did it right or not. I'm just shooting in the dark here. Because like I said, the original one was cut off. Had the original one been on there and it been damaged, I would have been able to trace it from there. So like this one's straight up the way it's supposed to be. So I know that for sure that this one's right. I know all of these are right. You see how there's none of them that are done up, right? The reason why is because on this one, every single one of them was done weird. And these are aftermarket fuel injector clips, because these guys break all the time, these ones. So somebody did the work to try and do this, but I don't know if they did it right or not. See, so like this is how I checked it. This is the back injector for the driver's side. So you see how it has the green line and the other one has that bluish one, or the orange one, right? So if you come to this one, you look at it, the greenish one is the one on the top right there. Let's see. All right, so the one with the green line is right there at the top. So the one with the green one on this one, maybe they did it backwards because the one with the green line is connected to the fire. And on this one, the one with the green line is connected to the technically the bottom of the injector. See, technically it's connected over here. So one with the green line, yeah, see. So the one with the green line is connected to the bottom of the injector on this one. Let's see, right there. It's connected to this one. And if you go to this one, you follow it back, the red line gets put into the one with the green line. So the one with the green line is, I guess, the positive. So that one and this one match up now. All of them I went through match up. Except for, well, not even this one. See, that's how I did it. Because this one has the green line right there. And if you follow it, I connected it to the red, which is the bottom of the injector. So I think that's paired in series. So that's been fixed. This one I had to fix because it was broken. Let me show you. Excuse my mess. It's from my front yard. My workshop's got a car in it right now. Where the hell did I throw it? Is that it? Yeah. So you see that one? That one's all jacked up. It's cracked. The connector's not right anymore. So because it doesn't sit, it won't connect in anymore. So this guy had to go. So I was able to do these ones pretty easy because they're the same colors. So I just sliced and diced into these. I used the butt connector with some shrink wrap after you get them. It's a little metal piece. You put them on there and then you press them together with a tool. You compress the sleeve that it goes in, and then you put the rubber shrink hose around it, and then you heat it up with like a lighter, and it shrinks down, and it's a good solid fit. But this is the one that I repaired from this one. See how that one has no problems and is good? So that shouldn't give us any more issues that we're getting rid of. So now everything else aside from the injector, I mean not the injector, the cosa del O2 sensor back there is still connected because I just cut the line. This is the ground strap. Oh, this is the ground strap that connects up there by the firewall. The bottom, when I was trying to take it out so I can remove the ground that actually connects to this deal right here somewhere. It's over here, this one, because this one broke on the one that was on the factory one. So this is the replacement one. I needed to take the nut off. When I was trying to do that, it just spun out and broke out. So now we cleaned up the nut and the stud and the nut, so we can put it back down and cinch it down, and it should be a good little fit. And then I had to get a Mexican engineering, and I used one of these little clip ones. That's what I'm gonna use to secure this ground strap to the harness as well. So all in all, that's all fixed up and ready to go. What I am gonna have to do is find out if this one is only one wire, which I think it honestly is, that goes down further, and then I can just splice directly into that one on this side, and then the passenger side will be good. But I know after this one has, I think, like 4 wires. So, but that's going to be in the front of the engine, which will be so much easier to deal with, as opposed to, trying to splice and dice into all of this and then leaving it all a mess back there. So now that all this is done, and my work is now mainly to the front of the engine, I'm going to put the wiring harness back in. I'm first going to remove that O2 sensor connection. Then I'm going to put the wiring harness in, and I'm going to start bolting everything back together. Coil packs are going to go back in. Everything's going to start getting bolted back in. The intake's going to go back in. Alternator's going to go back on. All of that stuff is going to be ready, so that way when I do these, I'll be able to just knock them out real quick, and then I should be able to refill the radiator and crank the car. And these are the ones I'm talking about. You see the little metal piece? So yeah, you put the wire in on both sides and you crimp them down on the where the orange side is, and you put the black shrink wrap on it and heat it up with the lighter, and it should just cinch it right down. So I'm gonna start doing that, get that finished up, so that way I can start rebuilding this engine, and God willingly, I should be able to crank it and start it today. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to do that. So stand by. All right. Cool fights. We're still working at it. I had to stop because my Skeepy, she made a seafood boil. So she wanted me to try it. I've never eaten crawfish before, but I did today. And I also ate some snow crab legs and some sausage and some corn and some potatoes and some shrimp. So that was pretty good. I put the intake back in and the fuel rail back in. Got to line them up carefully and then, seat them down with, rubber mallet or something. Because I used my hand, but back there where that little overhang is, I had to use a little stubby to kind of tap it down a bit. But that went in pretty well. The injector's already all connected. I didn't see this until right now, but this injector wire right here, it holds on pretty good, but this injector wire is actually broken. So part of me is thinking about depinning this real quick and then switching it for one of the other ones. I don't know. I want to do it because I don't want this. I don't want it to be broken. I want it to have a good, solid, stable connection. So I'm going to probably depin this one and then put the black housing on it rather than cut into the wiring harness, because this one's a good wiring harness all the way up here. So I'll probably just depin this real quick. What you got to do is you got to pull this little red retaining little spring out, and then there's a nice little area for you to be able to get to the release for the slides, and then you just pop it out and then put them into the new housing and then connect it, and you put the cradle back and you're good to rock and roll. But all of this is already getting done, so I'm moving along. I'm making progress. I still have to put the O2 sensor back on from over there, and then the wires up here. Sorry, look. So this one connects to, it's a direct connection right here. As long as it works right, it should be. So this one shouldn't be too hard to get in, but that one goes there. And then this wire right here that I cut, this wire is going to connect to this wire, and it's only one wire that goes down there. So I'll splice it to where it's a little closer, and I'll heat shrink it and all that good stuff. So this side will be done, and then all I got to worry about is the other side. This, I don't remember where this came from. Where did this one come from? Oh, the air box. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is for the mass airflow sensor. So that, we'll leave it alone. Once that's all said and done, we should be good to gets the getting. But yeah, so far we're moving along nice and slow, but we're moving along. I'm gonna continue working on this stuff. This used to be connected right here like this, but it broke off. So I'm probably gonna zip tie it together just so that way it's stable. And then I gotta put the alternator back in, and then it's just 5 wires over here that I gotta reattach. So once those wires are redone and trunked and everything together, this project will be good to go. And I just need to give it a start and see what it does, and hopefully it'll work the way it's supposed to, because this truck has a lot of life left in it. But stuff happens. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll get right back with you. See, and just like that, we got a new housing. Oh, the cradle fell. Fudge testicles. Okay. Well, me and my bad self dropped the cradle that was right here, so I don't know where it went. Probably on the floor somewhere. Shouldn't be too hard to find. It's red. But then again, it is 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm still out here working on the car. in the hopes that it's gonna run like a champ. Is it in there? No, I don't see it. That's okay. We have others. But so what you do is you pop that cradle out, the little lock tab, and then you gotta put in this side where you see the box. You have to put a pick or something in there to lift the little plastic tab. That way the line can come out the back. And then when you do that to the old one, you got to make sure you put it in the same orientation. So bottom goes to bottom, top goes to top. Then as soon as you slide it in, it'll lock in place. You just put the locking tab back in and you're good to rock and roll. So, let's see. I don't see it nowhere. Sorry. And just so you know, my allergies all day have been kicking my butt. So I'm trying still. Trust me. If it was up to me, I'd be inside sleeping, but then this wouldn't get done. I have to take my butt back to work tomorrow. So let me take that off right quick and I'll show you. I'm gonna try and set you up somewhere where you can actually see. And yes, I am filming this off of my Apple iPhone. Let me see if I can. Okay. So apparently my phone, when I wasn't paying attention to it, shut off. Whatever. Anyway, so I was able to get the cradle lock from the other harness. So that's in nice and tight. It's not gonna go nowhere. All of these guys are in nice and tight. They're not gonna go anywhere. So I'm gonna say that the wiring is done from the block right here to the back of the engine and around is done. I got everything ready, buttoned up and zipped up ready for the main important things. So now I gotta put that fuel line back together and then put the clip back in, and then I gotta connect that with whatever wire is supposed to be there, because I don't see it anywhere, but I'll find it. That's to the throttle, but once that's done, I'll put the throttle plate, the weight plate, and then the throttle body back on it. And then we'll try and finish these wires down here, the ones that are gonna have to be spliced and diced. But like I said, I'd rather do them from up here than do them from right here, because that's the gas. So too much shocky, make it go boomy. So we're not gonna do that. Everything's already been fixed up here in the proper way. I just gotta continue muscling through. So I'm gonna keep doing that, and I'll be right back. Okay, Apophytes. I got everything back together. Everything's already put back in, connected, tubes in, all this is back in, fans back, fan shrouds back in, wires are all done. Theoretically, nothing should be wrong with this setup. Everything should be factory the way it was when it came out the lot. I mean, obviously the wires are a little different, but everything should be good. I'm going to try and air up this tire, and then we're gonna fill up the reservoir and see if we can get this bad boy to fire on all cylinders perfectly with no issues. And then from there, not, I'm going to bed, because I've been up all night working on this truck. I love this truck, the simplicity of it. I got to pick up my mess out here, because I can't leave my shop looking like stuff, because that's already looking bad. I got to fix that. But theoretically, this all should be good to rock and roll. I'm gonna fill up the try and do up that air, and I'm gonna put the radiator fluid in. So give me a second. Okay, so I finished all of this up, and you might be wondering, why is the tube stuff not on there? Well, because I have to take it all off again. And yes, that means the alternator is gonna have to come back out, unfortunately. One of the things that I noticed on this car was the intake manifold gasket set that goes underneath here that sits up against the engine. That wasn't in the best of shape. It was $114 for fucking gaskets. But I think that might be bad and that might be bad, or that's in the wrong position and that's okay. I don't know. I got to keep messing with it. But it also said that cylinder 6 was misfiring. So I bought a Duralast part number C1541 coil pack for this cylinder 6, because that was the only cylinder that was saying was misfiring. None of the other ones were. So I'm going to change that coil pack to this one and see if it gives me the same fault that cylinder 6 is misfiring. Then that means with a brand new coil pack and a brand new spark plug, more than likely there's a problem either in the wire, like either the wires are backwards, which it shouldn't be because I don't think I didn't mess with that one. So that should be all good and gravy. So then that would mean that if it's not that, then it's going to be that. That right there, that module that's underneath these two little connectors, that module is the powertrain control module, and that might be bad. If it's bad, no big deal. I'll go to Pick and Pull and get the one from the other car, and then we'll slap it in here and we'll see what we got to do. I don't know if it has to be programmed or not. I don't think it does, but I've been wrong before. Everybody makes mistakes. Anywho, if it's that, then I'll get it from the junkyard, and then we'll be good to rock and roll. And one of the other things that I'm going to do is I'm going to get these lower control arms from right here, because these are no good. And then I got to fix that tire. But all in all, we're making progress. I got everything back together, and it did crank. It started. I just got to make sure that it's going to be right. And I don't know if the fuel pump is bad. I don't really care. I'm going to change the fuel pump anyway. So whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing right now, and we will see exactly what we will see. So stand by. Okay, so we had to take off the intake again, right? Because on the driver's side, it was getting a vacuum leak. My son found, you see how all this is here? There's a screw missing here and a screw missing there. That's the passenger side. He found this on the driver's side. That whole junk is melted. Missing a screw there. Missing a screw there. Junk melted. So I'm pretty sure this intake is bad. I don't know what would cause that. Maybe an internal fire. But I've never seen that before, because that's all melted plastic. I might be able to get a Dremel and Dremel that out and clean it up a bit, and then just replace the plastic component right there by unscrewing those screws. But the likelihood that that's going to happen is not looking too good, because it looks chunky. So we're going to call it that this guy needs to be replaced. So I have to go to the junkyard tomorrow and replace this. Don't even know how much it's going to be, but that's what's next on the agenda. All right, it's your boy. I'm back again. There's been a couple of days since I had last messed with the car. I actually work full-time. I'm a security officer. So the last time y'all didn't see this, I don't think. I have to check the videos back, but basically what happened is I found out the intake was bad on this truck when I got it. So this is the intake, okay? Now back here there's a little module that connects to these two little frames that opens and closes these shutters on the inside of the intake, right? So we found that this side is good, but when we came over here to this side and we looked at cylinder number 6, because this is the driver's side, we noticed that it was all melted out. And I think this happened because they had wired this one, the injector, to the coil pack, and the pulse was too strong and it was lighting this on fire. So this ended up lighting on fire and melting through. I don't know if you can see that hole right there. There's a hole there, there's a hole there, there's a hole there. It melted through and was sucking in hell of a lot of air. And I originally thought it was the gasket that goes down here. No, it was this. So fingers crossed, I went to the junkyard and I bought another one. It was only, I think, like 56 bucks. But you see this nipple, this thing right here, this used to have a nipple coming out that the air line attached to. The one I got from the junkyard didn't have it, so I ended up having to break this one off, but I super glued the shit out of it, put it into the new one, and now it's nice and sturdy, so that shouldn't give me any problems. And just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna put RTV around it so that way it'll seal properly and we won't have any leaks there. The injector that was on it, on this cylinder, I don't trust this injector because honestly, this injector could have, you know, with the electrical current problems, this could have been the reason why it failed. Maybe this injector was messed up. Didn't mind. I got a couple of injectors from the donor car at Pick and Pull, and I threw them in. So now I already got the intake bolted back in, and the way I did it was I started, it's kind of hard, but that air hose that comes off of the terminal that goes to the brake booster, that hose goes down, connects to a metal pipe that's held in place, and then there's another rubber hose that goes off 90s and goes into the nipple on the bottom of the intake. What I was looking at on this intake, I'm sorry I'm going back and forth, but I'm just trying to explain to you how little things can cause big problems. This one was RTV'd because this one was broken. So this one, if you push on it, you can see it flex, see? So this one was actually broken off at some point, and they RTV'd it hoping that that would be the issue, and it wasn't. So I transplanted the pieces that are back here and put them on the new intake. This intake is not small. For reference, I'm wearing size 13 shoes, and this mug is big. It's a pain in the butt to get to, not impossible, but the easiest way I found to get it in and out without having to deal with too much issues is you do have to remove the alternator, and once you get all the bolts free, there's a 10 mil nut on the back that holds the wiring loom to the back of it. That is a little bit of a trick to get to, but you can do it. Luckily this is a big enough vehicle that you can lay across, reach back there, get it with a little ratchet or even a wrench and break it free, and then you just undo it. There's a clip that connects to that little motor that actuates those shutters, I guess you would call them, and that one, once you have all the bolts out and you lift the front end of this up, you have a clear channel to get back there. You can reach your left hand through, grab the connection, pop it off. The hose, you have to come through the right side, go all the way through, and then you have to work it back and off. That's literally, it's 1, 2, 3 things in the back, and then the bolts that hold this in place, literally. But in order to get it out, you do have to remove the throttle body and all this stuff that's up top right here, because if not, it'll interfere and hit right here, and you will not be able to get this guy out. I put the new injectors on, everything's already clipped back up. I do have to get that piece right there and connect it. There's a little vacuum line that I got to connect for that one, and then there's a vacuum line to connect from that side this way. So all in all, it's coming along. What I'm going to do right now, because I'm waiting for some screws, I'm not too confident that this is actually a good throttle body. When it's running, this thing hums. I don't think that's normal. So as a precaution, I'm gonna go get one from the junkyard, because replacing this brand new is expensive as hell. I'm gonna go get one from the junkyard and try it. But this sensor right here is the throttle body position sensor. This one, the screw broke off, so I had to remove it. Luckily I was able to get it out and everything, so I got another one, and I got the 2 bolts that hold it, so I'm gonna put that together. A big shout out to Pick and Pull for having the things that we need. But now that I'm waiting for my wife to get back, because she took the car that has the 2 screws that I need in it, I'm gonna put the alternator back in, get the belt back on, get all this stuff buttoned up right here. That way I only have to focus on this stuff right here. Once all this is back on and the air tube's on and all the lines are on, then we can give it a start. And then I also I want to show you the key design. So I got these new keys from Amazon. Apparently this truck is a PAT key truck, but luckily I took it to, I think it was Home Depot, and they said they couldn't program the PAT key signal to this key because I have to buy theirs, and their key is 70 freaking bucks. So I wasn't gonna do that. With my ThinkDiag 2, I actually have the special function where I can actually code keys. So I got 2 of these. I think it was for like 15 bucks for 2 of them. And if you look at them, I like this kind of key because it's both the physical key and it's got the alarm directly built into it, and it has the trunk release right there. I do not know if this vehicle was equipped with remote start. I don't really care. As long as I can get the regular stuff going, I don't really care about the remote start. I will check that out later on down the line. If it's not, then I'll see what I have to do to get it and, you know, whatever. But I want that key so that way it'll work with this car. So I'm going to program the key later once I do this. And fingers crossed, now that the intake is fixed, and now that that injector is changed, and now that all the wiring has been fixed, fingers crossed, we start it and it starts and runs smooth. The first time we tried to start it after doing all the work we did before we found out the issues with the intake, it still ran kind of rough. It did run a little bit, but it ran rough. So I'm hoping that with fixing this issue, it'll start working, and then I can clear out the system, and then if it pops up new codes, I can go based off of those codes to check what else is going on. But as of right now, we're hoping that this will fix it. I don't know if it will or not, but that's what I'm attempting, because this is what happened up here is not something that you ever want to happen to any vehicle. Oh, and it said that I had a bad coil pack. So the coil pack that I had on 6 was originally on 8, and it said 8 was bad. So I moved the coil pack up to 6, and then it told me 6 was bad, but 8 was fine. So I changed the coil pack for number 6. I bought one from AutoZone. It's a Duralast one. So I'm hoping that that's all I needed, and now it's going to run correctly. So it's got new spark plugs. It's got all the wiring fixed up, and everything appears to be correct. So I'm going to put the alternator back in, and then when my wife gets home, I'm going to finish putting all this stuff back together. So for right now, bear with me. I'm going to put the alternator in. All right, so we got her running. She's not running the best. We don't know why. She's acting like she's misfiring, but none of the DTCs are showing up that she's misfiring at all. So and I know that if I take off the coil pack, she starts struggling. See? Maybe I do just need to replace all the damn coil packs, because she seems like she's got a lot of life left in her. I'm definitely considering that throttle body's bad. But she's idling way better than she was. She actually stays on her own now. And she does sound like she has some exhaust issues. Hold on, we're gonna get down there and find out right now. Maybe a donut blew out or something. Oh yeah, donut definitely blew out right there. Look. See the patch? That's bad. You need to replace that donut. Let's go check over there under the fuel pump. See if maybe there's, because I'm thinking maybe she's got an issue with fuel. So then all we'd have to do is replace the fuel pump. But she's running. She's definitely running. And that's the only place I'm hearing a blowout by. It's right there. Right there is where I'm hearing a blowout. So I'm gonna let her run for a bit, see if the engine picks up any other faults, because eventually if it's a shorted coil pack, it will say, hey, the coil pack is failed. So I don't recommend you beating on stuff, but you see that? That leads me to believe that this was replaced. But she is running by herself now. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. So as a precaution, I'm gonna get the O2 sensors, all of them, and I'm gonna replace that donut there. That should stop that from doing it right there, and it should be going out the backside as long as that's not clogged. But it doesn't appear to be because I'm feeling out the tailpipe. It's got good pressure, so we got it running, boys and girls. We got it running. Oh, fucking mushrooms. Okay. She's idling. She's idling, boys. Under her own power. No throttle press. But look, this is what's weird. This is what I think is really weird. So hopefully I'm like letting it warm up. It should be more than warm enough. So everything else is starting to work. She's idling it right a little bit up above 1,000. She's got a tire pressure fault. The brake is because I have the parking brake on. Oh, and I figured out what was wrong with the brakes. So the brakes, I just did an auto with my Think Diag right here. I did a brake bleed. So she's idling, but she's idling kind of rough. So I don't know. And then I'm noticing that there's the slightest little dimming in the light as she's running. But look, this is what happens. She only goes up there. And she does that. She bogs back down, but she staying running. So I'm thinking coil packs. So I'm just gonna change all of them mugs, and I'm thinking that we're gonna get it to where this car is running, because it's not making any noise. It's not doing anything like too crazy. So I'm pretty sure this truck will run pretty good. It just needs a little bit of TLC. The oil pressure is good. The battery power is good. The temperature is good. It's got gas. So I'm thinking maybe that fuel pump and spark, and so O2 sensors, fuel pump, and coil packs. Those are the three things that I'm thinking that I'm gonna do to this car next. And oh, and the donut for the exhaust. If I do that and she starts running like a champ, it's something simple. Because if it was something like the timing chain was bad, it would be struggling so much more than what it's doing right now. It would be a loud noise in the engine going clack, 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 and it's not doing none of that. So I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, that we got another fouled out coil pack, and we just gotta narrow it down, because it feels like a bad coil pack. Like, in all honesty, it feels like a coil pack ain't working the way it's supposed to. And so far, it's still not reading an engine fault. So, well, so list, my bad, I keep forgetting. The throttle body, I'm gonna just replace it. Donut for the exhaust, coil packs, fuel pump. Those are the four things I'm gonna change to see if I can get this car running smoother. Because she is not acting like she is done in life. She's got 240 something thousand miles. Hold on a second, let's see. She's acting like she's got more than enough life left in her. I've never had a truck that had all this stuff, but I don't know, it says fan and temp, so I'm thinking that's for the AC module. But let's see. So let's press reset to clear. Reset. 242,619 miles. Reset for system check. Reset. Oil life 75%. Reset. English. Auto lamp. Auto lock. Oh, no, we want that. Auto lock on. Running boards auto. Auto lock on. Auto lock on. Yeah, see, so she's not doing anything that's too crazy. Charging system okay, washer fluid level low, all doors closed, lift gate ajar, brake system okay. So literally that's all it says. What's that? What was it beeping for? Press reset to clear. Yeah, see, so hold reset for new. English. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe fuel pump because she's acting like something. But again, like I said, this is a new vehicle to me. It does have little odds and ends, but she is running. When I got her, you had to keep your foot planted on that throttle to keep her going. She does respond. So that's me throttle pressing. And I don't think if I put her in neutral, now she's in neutral, I don't think if I put her in neutral, she'll go beyond that. See, yeah, they have an idle control. See? She does respond. I'm thinking maybe spark plug. I don't know, man, because she's acting like it. But I'm gonna run the diag again on the phone, and I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. What's up, baby girl? Come over here. So I'm gonna start the truck. Man, look at that. Got stung by a bee. Damn. Okay. Anyway, I haven't started yet. I just finished installing the coil packs. My daughter's here with me. Keys in the ignition. Power on. Dead freaking battery. Ain't that about some shit? Okay, hold on. So, we got the wrong key. Stupid. Okay, so I got the key and
Sweet night, man.
so got a check engine light, tire pressure light, but it is idling. It says I have next to no gas. It's idling rough still. Could be a fuel pump, could be a throttle body, but look. brake is on while it's in neutral. It only revs up to that limiter, but it kind of levels out a little bit, but then it starts shuddering like that. Okay, I'm gonna check what this check engine light is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do another video, but I think that honestly I'm just gonna wait until all of it's done and it's actually running. But yeah, the coil packs didn't fix the truck. So when I bought the truck, the guy who I bought it from said that he bought it from somebody who tried to fix it. He couldn't fix it, and that's how they cut up all the harness and all that stuff, right? So I went and I got another harness from the pick and pull, and I put it on, and I was hoping that would have been it and everything would have run just fine. No. Then I changed the coil packs. Coil packs weren't bad. Maybe I can get the money back for them. Anyway, I'm doing a video. Close it?
Yes, I can't close it.
Hold on, my wife needs me to. She needs me to be the muscle man.
My hands hurt.
Cause she can't close it.
$300 worth of food supplies, and I had to scan that shit individually.
She can't close it.
My
Shit, I
hands
can't
hurt.
close it. This thing is like weird.
I fit it on your line the other day, and now I can't fucking do it. My hands are
I'm doing the video. Stop cussing. Jesus. Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut your face. Anyway, I use my big brain. Sorry, my baby's crying because he's throwing a fit. See? He's throwing a fit. Anyway, so basically, the code that it was giving me was P0353545552, and all of them codes, them trouble codes, all said the same thing. It said engine coil, ignition coil, open circuit. I know that it's not the wiring harness because I just changed it. At least I hope it's not the wiring harness, because it could be the wiring harness. If it was a wiring harness, then maybe it would. I don't know. If it was a wiring harness. No, it can't be the wiring harness. Because the exact same symptoms that it had beforehand, it has now. So it's not the wiring harness because I changed the wiring harness. And there's no way that wiring harness is bad because it was good. Like I'm telling you, it was. The clips were all intact. Nothing had been messed with. So I don't think it's the wiring harness. I think what it is the PCM. So for many years, different makes and models have ECUs, engine control units, ECMs, engine control modules, or PCMs, powertrain control modules, basically. So there's it's a block that basically it tells the system what to do and all that stuff. And ultimately, they do go bad. And this is a 2008 truck. So the likelihood that it's bad, considering the fact that whoever did the first wiring probably messed with this one, but it communicates with the truck, means that it's probably something that is done with that ECU. Maybe it could be a fuse. I don't know. But I just bought a new ECU. I have time to cancel it, so I'm going to check the fuses tomorrow. Make sure that it's not just a stupid fuse. But the symptoms that it's exhibiting online says that more than likely it's because it's a faulty PCM. So to kind of nip this in the butt, I just bought a PCM online from Flagship One, $256, and they're gonna program it, and it's gonna be programmed and it's a brand new unit, programmed with the VIN, programmed with all the stuff that might. Sorry, my kid, he's bad. Hey, behave, boy. Basically, they're going to program everything, all the information that my vehicle requires into the new unit. Send me the new unit. It's a lifetime warranty. If it ever messes up, I can send it back. They'll send me a new one. So, a Rochambeau that, you know, maybe that's the culprit, which would lead me to believe that's it, because the first wire set that the guy did, he couldn't fix it. I changed the spark plugs, I changed the coil packs, they're all brand new. It's not missing, like literally it'll run, but it runs really poorly. So I'm thinking more than likely it's a PCM issue. Like I said, they do go out, they are in the engine bay, so they do tend to get hot. And that hot, cold stuff does tend to mess them up. Yeah, I think it's going to be worth it because the truck is still very valued. I could definitely stand to risk $256 for a brand new PCM for the truck, because maybe, just maybe, that'll be the issue, and maybe, just maybe, that'll fix it and it'll run right. Because everything from the wiring harness down, the coil packs, everything is all good and gravy. I'm not having any injector faults. It's not telling me anything else is wrong. Literally, the only thing it's saying is that the coils are stuck open, and that's a symptom of the PCM going bad. So I'm gonna have to put it on hold for a bit. It's gonna take a week for the new one to come in. So hopefully, when the new one comes in, I will finish the video off, get it to where the truck runs and runs right, and then we can start enjoying it, basically. So for right now, we're going to put a pause on it, and I'm going to start trying to work on my wife's car, because my wife blew her motor because she ran it without oil. So stay tuned for that video, because I have to pull a motor, go to the junkyard, pull a motor, come back, install a motor on a 2007 Nissan Maxima. So that's going to be the video you probably see before this one comes out. So thank you for following Pofus Car Garage. Comment, subscribe, like, you know, do all that good stuff, and show us some love so that way we can continue doing what we're doing. And to my kids, Daddy loves you. And if you ever need any knowledge that I haven't given, stay tuned, because until I stop doing this, I'll always leave some knowledge. Love you guys. Bye.